If you ever feel that your characters look boring, generic, or lifeless, this is a video for you. I'm gonna tell you 5 ways on how you can improve your character designs instantly. What's up guys, Lucas here. I'm a concept artist and illustrator working for video games, and this channel is all about helping you become a better artist. So if that's something that you like, consider subscribing. You are going to love these 5 tips because all of them are things that you can do already. It doesn't matter if you're barely starting out. If you draw characters, these are 5 things that you need to know. Let's get to it. The first tip that I got for you is think of a story. Often enough, we design characters that live only in a single image, but that usually ends up in dry and two-dimensional characters that make really hard for your viewers to identify with them. It doesn't matter that you never plan to use this character again. If you take a moment before drawing a line in your paper to think, who is this character? What does he or she desire? Where does it come from? And where is it going? All these simple questions will help you build a much more interesting character. If you set yourself to draw, let's say, I don't know, whatever, an elf, most probably you will end up with a generic skinny dude with long ears. You know, the usual elf that everybody has in their mind as an elf. So before you start your drawing, ask yourself, how old is he? How do you know it is an elf? Where is he? And what is the thing that he likes the most or that he hates the most? Etc. And you show the answers to all these questions through your character's clothing, features, and expression. So as you probably guessed already, I am going to be applying each one of the tips that I give you guys to my own character design. In this case, I decided to go with the theme of a caveman. What you can see that I am already doing is that I decided to think of the story of this caveman as the first chef. It's supposed to be like a young caveman that discovered his passion for preparing elaborate dishes, and his favorite dish is shark, and he just started discovering the pleasure of ornamental dishes. So yeah, that's my little story for me to get inspired on doing the first sketches. Let's go to the next tip. Tip number 2 is reference. I cannot insist enough on how important using references is. If you are designing a cowboy, let's say, take 20 minutes before you lay pencil on paper and go to Pinterest, okay? Type the word cowboy and rejoice yourself in all the work that you just saved yourself. I have to say also that this applies to whatever your preference of style is. From realism to cartoonish, and everything in between, reference is absolutely necessary for any artist. So for myself, I just did that. I went into Pinterest and I looked for the obvious references that I needed, like, for example, chefs, kitchens, sharks, of course, and different artists that I like seeing and see how they stylize their characters. Tip number 3 is never go with your first option. The most stereotypical characters are always eager to jump out of your hands whenever you think of an idea. I'll explain this with an example. If I say the word candle, it is very possible that the first thing that came to your mind is a white stick with a lit wick on top. Even though we know that candles can be any shape, color, and size, but that's the symbol. So that is the icon our mind generates when we think of the word candle. These ideas are there, ready to come out of your head the moment you think of them. So in order to create designs that are more unique, or at least not generic, it is usually a good idea to throw away your first tries. This doesn't mean that sometimes your first sketch could be golden, but it is not usually the case. So try to put out the most generic ideas first, and you will see that the more unique approaches start appearing next. As you can see, what I did in my case is just sketching a few of the cavemen that I had in my head, plus a few props that also helped me to kind of get in the mood and think of what are the tools that this caveman could use. You see that I sketched a few faces, and from all of them I decided to go with the one that I like the most, so I moved forward. Tip number 4 is capture a moment, and I think this one is my favorite tip of the bunch. Try to portray your character in a moment that represents him or her. Think back on the first tip, the story. Choose a moment or an interaction for your character that says something about who this character is. How does he stand, walk, talk, etc. Think of what is the thing your character desires or hates the most and put him in that situation. At the end of the day, if your character is not going to be animated or used anywhere else, people will only see one image of them, so make that image count. For myself, or my character, I wanted to show his passion and joy while he was cooking, so I tried to express with his face, with his facial expression, with his pose, and with the little props around him. For example, a little leaf in his hand, that he was really enjoying the act of cooking. So yeah, now let's go on to the last tip. And final tip number 5. This one is show it around, alright? Once you have your character design, there is no better way on how to improve on it than just simply going around and show it to your friends, family, or if you have any friends that are also artists, then of course the better. You can do this of course with any painting or anything that you're creating, but the characters are one of the easiest to receive feedback from. For example, you can simply go to your friend and ask, who is this character? What is his profession? How old is he or how old is she? And you will immediately receive answers. If you see a confused face and you didn't want to confuse anybody, then you know that you have to fix something. For example, for my character, something that I did was show this to a couple of friends, and they immediately said to me, "What? That is not a caveman." They immediately gave me the tip that just remove his shirt and make him all hairy, and that absolutely helped to improve my design. Some important things that I recommend you to do or have in your mind when you go and ask for feedback is that first off, you need to go with an open mind. Really, you should not fall in love with your character, because that's something that we artists do a lot, especially with characters. So go out with an open mind and just think to yourself, this that I'm doing and the advice that I'm gonna get is probably going to improve my character instead of destroying it. And the second thing is that maybe not all the feedback is actually necessary. Go with an open mind, but be absolutely conscious that you are, at the end of the day, the creator of this character, and you're the one that has the final saying on how he or she should look like. So yeah, go out there and ask around and improve your characters that way. And here it is. Here is the final design of my caveman and how it improved from just an idea or just the name of caveman into this final design. If you want to see the whole process and how I painted this illustration, more of maybe the technical part of the process, then be sure to check out next week, because I will be uploading that video with my commentary on top, explaining some of the technical decisions on this illustration. Question, guys, what are some of your favorite characters? For me, I think it is Dante from Devil May Cry, maybe, and also Asuka from Evangelion. A lot of me liking these characters has to do with their personality and their story, but still their designs are so iconic that I cannot help to like them. That's it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end. Leave me a like if it was useful, and of course, subscribe for more content like this. I will see you guys in the next video.